Welcome, blessings. The clip you are about to watch is an excerpt from my recent Return of the Priestess series. This year was a little different than other years. It was a journey of 3 days of deep dive into different topics. Now, before we get into the clip itself, I just wanted to quickly share with you an opportunity and an invitation for those who resonate. We are living in such extraordinary times right now, and I know, and you may resonate and feel this as well. There are many who feel the quickening and feel called to step into their spiritual gifts in a more powerful, more accelerated, more extended way. And right now, up until the 19th of June, 2023, the doors are open for my 13 Moon Priestess Training and Initiation program called Mother Spirit. This is a very deep dive, small group, immersive, intimate experience of sisterhood. It's for women who are on the path of sacred feminine leadership. Whether you are experienced or new to the path doesn't matter as much as your devotion to being a blessing in this world, to being the love you wish to see in this world, and to cultivating your sacred gifts, whether that be healing tools and more modalities, or simply the capacity to hold a frequency of love during times of accelerated chaos and stress, to bring those to the next level and to do it in a container of sisterhood. Recently I hosted a retreat with there were 9 sisters, and one of the sort of prophetic things that emerged from my mouth was to feel safe in sisterhood is a sacred blessing indeed. And that is the quality and nature of Mother Spirit. Again, this is a small group container for women who feel the call to their sacred ministries, their sacred leadership in some way, shape, or form. So if you are interested, you can find the link below. I will tell it to you here right now. It is returnofthepriestess.com/Mother Spirit. This is a course of study, a journey, a deep dive experience that is by application and interview. So you can rest assured you will be in a very safe container if this is something you feel to join. So again, Mother Spirit, 13 Moon Priestess Training and Initiation. You can go to returnofthepriestess.com/Mother Spirit. Check the link below. And now please enjoy this excerpt from this year's Return of the Priestess series. Thank you so much. Okay, so our theme today, oh, you know what? Let me just remember I don't need to keep sharing my computer audio. Okay, our theme today, serving as energy midwives for new earth, birthing within and around us. So I have a few things to share about this, and then we will have our channeling, and then we'll share. So we are coming into our sovereign power as sacred women. If you are on this call, I'm speaking to you. If you are listening to this call, I am speaking to you. We are coming into our sovereign power as sacred women. These are the women I serve. I am here. I know what my little role in the big scope of everybody's role is. One of my main roles is to help women step into their sacred feminine leadership. That's what I do in my retreats. It's what I do with my courses. I do it at Mother Spirit with my free offerings. So just really receive that. Coming into your power as a sacred woman. This is not about power over. This is not about egoic power disconnected from God light. This is about your holy self and holding the feminine ray, the feminine energy in these times. So with today's theme, I wanted to use the analogy of midwives during a difficult birth. So if you think about midwives during a difficult birth, and if we think about the new earth birthing, it does appear to be fairly difficult right now in many ways. Good midwives stay calm and focused. They're not thrown off by external drama. They're focused on the mother. They're focused on the child. They're focused on the task at hand. And they're also taking care of themselves. So they are not sacrificing themselves. To be a midwife is not to sacrifice. The old adage everyone says, put your own oxygen mask on first before helping another. Midwives take care of themselves. So when I was having a home birth, I had 2 midwives and an assistant. And sometimes they were on, they were amazing, they were present, they were calm, cool, collected. It wasn't a difficult birth, but it was long enough for them to take turns sometimes resting. They take care of themselves. But ultimately, the midwife must care for mother and child and must be competent in their skills. What is needed and what is not needed. They must have backup support. For priestesses, this is the sisterhood. So to be midwives, to support the new earth birthing as sacred women, our role is to stay calm and focused. That means we focus on our lives, what's in our lane, what is ours to do, and what is ours not to do. What is ours maybe to pray for, but not get involved with. When are we overgiving? When we don't, when we know we're being drained for what is ours to do, whether that be taking care of our family or taking care of our own health. We also must attend to mother and child, Mother Earth. And I would say the children right now in some countries are very much at risk, but we may not have children right in our lane in our lives. But the child, in this sense, symbolically, is the seedlings of New Earth. And what do I mean by that? So this could be anything from how we speak about the future. This is a big one. Are we going to allow the dictates of crazy men to determine what our future is going to be? You will own nothing and be happy, or whatever their latest nonsense is? Or are we going to say, doesn't apply to me, cancel, cancel, delete, delete. I am here to bring the light. I am here to care for the seedlings, the little child getting ready to birth, which is New Earth. And that's one example. You will, as you reflect on this, you will have your own examples. A lot of this comes down to what are we doing with our minds, right? Where is our attention? Where are we placing our attention and our intentions? If we're placing it in spaces of fear and victimization and scarcity, then we are not really supporting that new earth as best we can. Now, I realize sometimes we have to feel the feels in order to clear it, if we're doing the work to clear it. But if we just find ourselves in those chronic low states of energy, then we have to use the tools necessary, get the help necessary, so that we come back to that symbolic midwife energy of, right, I'm holding the field in my life. I'm holding the love frequency. I'm being loving toward the people around me. I'm being respectful. I'm respectful toward myself. And I'm paying attention to where my mind goes, what my words are, what my deeds and actions are. Are they aligned with the new earth that I wish to see? So, and as I said, we must be competent in our skill sets. So whatever they are, whether it's tarot, astrology, those are mine, right? But yours could be totally different. It could be gardening, it could be art, it could be whatever it is. Competent and recognize what is needed and what is not needed. And then have that backup, as I said, the sisterhood support, which is the function. This is why we're here in this container, sanctuary of the feminine, to come, to have some respite, to get some inspiration, some guidance, some sharing. This is essential for us. To know woman is an island. To do this alone is an absurdity. We are all one ultimately. So to pretend that we are separate doesn't make sense. Now, I get it. Our world is set up for us to often be very isolated, especially after the last 3 years. But we have ways, obviously, to be connected. And so part of our role as midwives of the new earth birthing is to find the kinship with the sister friends, and of course, sacred brothers as well, where we are in lift as we rise relationship with each other. So that's another piece of it. Let us remember that most, if not all of us who are on this call, and I would say all of us if you're here, have prepared for many lifetimes to be right here, right now. We have been through incarnational cycles, deeply steeped in separation and darkness and fear and all of that stuff. And we are coming out of that now with skills. Some of us have been healers for many lifetimes. Some of us have been teachers for many lifetimes. Some of us have learned, well, we've all probably learned from the school of hard knocks at the soul level, and the soul remembers. The ego mind doesn't remember the other incarnational lessons, but the soul does. And so we are not spring chickens. This is not our first rodeo. And so we came prepared, even though we might not be fully aware of how we're prepared, we came prepared to be a light in this time. We've got the skills and abilities which we may have access to now, or which we may be remembering and relearning. So, and they come on when they come on. Everybody's timing is different. So I really want to encourage those of you who may feel like, well, I don't know, I'm kind of new to this. We had a beautiful sister speak yesterday about, she's about 2 years in her awakening path. And you may feel like, well, I hardly know anything. I'm still learning. And maybe you feel that way, maybe you don't. But we're in accelerated times. So what took some of us who've been on the path, I've been on this path for 39 years of slogging through mistakes and learning and growing and lessons and stuff, will go a lot quicker for you. And those skills, abilities, and talents will start to come back. So the other thing I want to say, there's a few more things here. We did not come to this life to passively sit by and watch a planetary meltdown, crossing our fingers as we cross our fingers and hope that it'll all work out for the best. Not those of us on this call. We came to hold a field of love and possibility for the vision of New Earth. So simply holding, and I say simply, that's not the right word, holding the vision of New Earth, trusting and knowing and trusting that we are on an ascension journey. We are awakening to the truth of who we are. We are moving into the age of Aquarius, where the power goes to the people. And we can vision and see that something really new and beautiful is coming. Doing that alone is a very, very powerful frequency to put into the collective, to counterbalance the intense amount of fear, dissociation, attack, judgment, separation, blah, blah, blah. Because one person holding a very high frequency of love or above is more powerful than thousands steeped in the other energies, the old 3D energies. So we came to bring these tools, both energetic and practical, that we've cultivated over lifetimes, to do it now. We prepared then for now. And even though all time is now, in our consciousness, to describe it that way, hopefully is a helpful visual for you. And I say these things because I really want to ennoble you. I want you to walk away from this feeling like, I am here for a reason. And even though I have personal struggles of my own, I have and can learn the tools to heal even more. I have and can find the sisterhood to support me and have my back so that I can continue on this beautiful path of awakening to greater love, to greater self-acceptance, to a higher order of consciousness. So a little sip here. So I want to finally speak about discernment and boundaries, which I already touched on, but I'm going to say it again in a little bit of a different way. A good midwife knows when it's time to take her birthing mama to the hospital. And that is something that I think we all would do well to really understand for ourselves. We're not all qualified to do all things. We all came, the idea of the return of Christ is our awakening into Christ consciousness. And the idea of a ground crew here on earth during the awakening is the idea that there are countless numbers of us, millions of us all over the world doing our part. Some are truthers, some are alarm sounders, some are light holders, some are midwives, some are energy workers, some are, fill in the blank. And so discernment is important to know what is mine to do and what is not mine to do. And when is it time for me to refer someone I'm working with, for example, to someone who's got the right expertise because it's not mine. So this is not about overgiving. It's about being in our sovereignty, our light, and our leadership, because that is the way, that is the energy of the new earth, to be in our sovereignty, our light, and our leadership from the place of love. That's the frequency. So when we find ourselves pulled here and there, or boundaries being stepped on, or trying to help someone that we know we really can't help, that's when we say, well, okay, discernment and boundaries here. What is the highest service here? What is the best way for me to be in service to this sister or brother or child or whatever, because I don't have what's needed in this, or I'm being drained now.